I want you to think of someone, not a stranger. Someone who used to text you back fast, used to call or talk, discuss things, have a great time around each other. Someone who'd want you to be in the same room as them, and somewhere along the way, without a single argument, without one lie ever getting caught, they just pulled back, slower replies, shorter visits, a version of warm that isn't quite warm anymore. You probably blamed yourself for something big, a fight, a mistake, but I need you to sit with a harder possibility. What if it wasn't one thing? What if it was 10 things, so small, you never even clocked them as a pattern? By the end of this video, you'll know the exact number for each one. This isn't a list video. I'm not doing reason 1, 2, 3, X, Y, Z. No, this is a story because that's exactly how trust leaves. Quietly, one habit at a time, until the room feels different, and you quite honestly don't know why. The trust doesn't leave at once. It leaves the way sand leaves a fist. One grain so small, you never feel it go, until your hand is just as empty, and you're standing there confused about what's happened. Chapter 1. The person everyone likes. Picture yourself in a friend group, where you're the easy one, the one who agrees fast, laughs at everything, and never causes friction. Someone makes a joke that isn't funny, and you laugh hard anyway. A little too hard, a little too on cue, and that's number 1. Laughing at things that aren't funny. It's so small, so automatic. You've never once in your life clocked it as a habit at all. It just feels like being nice. Someone asks your opinion, and you find yourself agreeing before you've even finished the question. Nodding along to a sentence before you've even technically processed it yet. You see, that's a habit number 2. Agreeing before you've actually decided. It happens so fast that if you don't catch it in the moment, you only catch it later. Replaying the conversation, wondering if you even meant what you said. Someone bumps into you in the hallway. It's their fault entirely. And the word that comes out of your mouth first is, I'm sorry. Not their mouth, yours. That's habit number 3, apologizing for things that were never your fault to begin with. Often so reflexively, it barely even registers as a choice anymore. It's just a habit. It's what your mouth does. The moment they're around you, it's slightly uncomfortable. Easy to be around, easy to forget. 2 separate things, wearing the exact same smile. No one can tell them apart, including you. None of this feels like a problem. It feels like being liked, and for a while it works. People do like you, because you've made yourself frictionless, agreeable, easy to be around in every single room you've ever walked into, but being liked and being trusted were never the same thing. Only 3 habits in you, and you're only just starting to find out why. Chapter 2. The widening gap. Time passes. These habits don't go away. They get quieter, and they somehow get worse. You're in a friend group setting now. More eyes, more people. And you notice that you never actually disagree out loud. Not once, not in the room itself. Even if you don't like an idea, you wait. You hold it, and only once you're alone with a single person, do you finally say what you think. And you see, that's habit number 4. Saving your real opinions for a private conversation, and performing agreement everywhere else. Which means the group has never once met the version of you that actually has opinions. You start mirroring people so precisely. Their energy, their tone, their exact opinions. That if someone paused mid-conversation and asked, wait, what do you actually think? You're not totally sure you can find the answer. But checking the room first, or who you're mirroring, to see what's safe. That's habit number 5, and it doesn't seem like a dangerous one, because it doesn't look like a habit. It looks like being easygoing, adaptable, being good at reading a room. It's a slow erasing of having a fixed self at all. You see, if you copy people so precisely, when people look at you, they don't see you. They will see whoever you're trying to become, and whoever you're trying to be. How can you be looked up to, or valued for yourself, if all people see when they look at you is a completely different person? You become a mirror, and nobody has ever trusted a mirror to tell them the truth. Because a mirror was never built to have an opinion, only a reflection. And reflections change the second you do. Then there's the phrase, the one you use constantly and don't even hear anymore. You say it's something you're completely sure of, and immediately soften it. But that's just me. And that's habit number 6, undercutting your own certainty the second you've expressed it. And if being sure of something was dangerous, as if conviction needed an apology attached to it before anyone's allowed to hear it, you need to be sure in yourself. And you feel every silence, every single one, because silence feels like something that might go wrong if you don't manage it. Like dead air is a personal failure. That's habit number 7. And here's what actually communicates without you meaning it to. That you can't tolerate a moment where nothing's been performed and where nothing is being managed. Where the room is allowed to sit in whatever it actually is in. Silence was never empty. It was the one honest thing in the room. And you kept filling it before anyone could hear what it had to say. Chapter 3. The one that costs the most. Here's one that looks like the smallest and costs the most. You start agreeing with people you actually think are wrong. Not about anything huge. Small things. Restaurant picks. Movie options. Whether someone's plan is actually even a good one. That's habit number 8. And every single time feels like keeping the peace. Like being agreeable. Like being the easy one to plan things with. And it's never worth keeping the peace if you're not considered worthy of having an opinion. A small one. Repeated so often, across so many rooms, over so many months, that it becomes the only voice people ever hear from you. If someone has never once heard you disagree, they don't know your opinions at all. They know your agreement, and those are not the same thing. Why should people value your opinion if they don't even know what they are and they've never heard one? They know your agreement. Those are not the same thing. And somewhere underneath all that agreeing is a version of you they could actually trust, but it's been quietly going unheard for years. You've said yes so many times, and somewhere in all that, you actually know went missing, and nobody, not even you, notices it's gone. Chapter 4. The moment it breaks. Now, fast forward to the person I asked you to picture at the start. The one who'd pulled back. Here's what actually happened in their head, and it has nothing to do with liking you less. Here's a study I need you to hear. Subjective consistency increases trust. Across 2 separate experiments, these researchers found that trust isn't built primarily on whether someone's likable, or kind, or interesting on their own. It's built from consistency, whether the different pieces of a person actually fit together into something a perceiver can predict. In their own words for it, a perceiver cannot form a mental model of is a person that perceiver cannot fully trust, no matter how much they may genuinely enjoy being around them. If you need to, I know that was very confusing, feel free to go back and rewatch that. But trust was never a reward for being liked. It was a reward for being knowable. And you've spent years optimizing for the first one. You haven't been known, while quietly destroying the second one. That's a mechanism behind every single habit I've counted for you. Habit 1 through 8. See, none of it is a lie big enough to catch in the moment, but every one of it breaks the model. The person who used to trust you can't predict you anymore, because there isn't a consistent you underneath the performance for them to actually predict. You didn't lie to them once, you just never let them find the same person twice. Eventually they stopped looking, because looking for someone who keeps changing shape is exhausting. Chapter 5. The habit underneath all habits. Here's what I need you to sit with. Something uncomfortable, because everything so far has been on the surface, but underneath performing agreement. Performing what? Performing confidence is one single habit that's doing all the damage. That's your habit number 9. You're choosing your words and your face and how it will be perceived instead of what it actually is. Not because you're manipulative, because somewhere along the way you've learned that the honest version of you is riskier to show than the easy version. You've been running the risk calculation every single time you've opened your mouth. You've maybe even rehearsed being spontaneously honest. Planned out in your head exactly what to say in the real thing. If this person says this, I'm going to react in this way, and I want to only show this much emotion, and that is the problem. You're becoming a rehearsal instead of a person. And how's that any different to a robot? Word for word, tone. And then you've gone quiet. The second the conversation turned emotional, because performing doesn't work in that terrain. It only works when there's an audience left to read. You've been rehearsing honesty longer than you've been practicing it. And a rehearsal, no matter how many times you run it, was never once the same thing as a real performance. And that's habit number 10. the quietest one, the one hiding underneath all the others, deciding what you're allowed to feel based on how it be perceived, before you even let yourself fully feel it. Saying the thing, editing it mid-thought through, before it even reaches your mouth, until what comes out was never the truth. It was the truth's most applicable draft. The cruelest part is that none of this made people trust you less because they caught you doing something wrong. It made them trust you less because they didn't catch it, but they could feel it, without ever being able to name it. That they were only ever meeting the version view you built for them, not built for the room, but specifically to be received well by whoever was standing in it at the time. 10 habits, 10 tiny doors, each one closing so quietly nobody heard it shut. And trust, turns out, was never in the room with you. It was standing outside every single one of those doors, waiting for you to leave one of them open. Chapter 6. Let's stay here. This is not a video telling you to become blunt or difficult, or to disagree with everyone just to prove that you can. That's a different kind of performance, wearing a different costume, and it will cost you just as much as the first line did. What actually rebuilds trust is smaller than that, and harder than that. Start noticing the exact moment you're about to agree, before you've even decided what you think. Catching it live, right as it happens. Let one real unpopular opinion sit in the room, without softening it with, "That's just me." Let one silence stay uncomfortable, instead of filling it with something. Be comfortable in silence. Not louder, colder, not harder to like. Just same person, whether or not anyone's watching. Which sounds small until you realize almost nobody actually does it. Trust was never built by being impressive or agreeable or endlessly easy to be around. It was built the exact same way the study found it. One small piece at a time, fitting together into something so predictable that's not one thing 10 years of performance was ever able to fake. And it's time for my rant. I think it's important I give you some sort of rant that you can follow along with, whether it's directly to do with the script or not. It's important for us to have this. See, so many people hear the word trust. They may not even understand what it fully means, but what it feels. Because feelings can be stronger than understandings. So it's not just about the mental side. If you want someone to trust you, it's not just about saying the right thing, or I watched a facial standard psychology video, so I know if I word something correctly, like, would I be totally in the wrong if I asked you for XYZ, or do you mind if, in a particular way of sentence, that I could XYZ? It's not about what you say to create trust or make someone trust you, but it's directly how you make them feel. Like I said, feelings are stronger than understanding and language and words. If you can make someone feel seen and valued, and they know that they trust you from predictability, reliability, then really, I believe that's all it is. So think about the person again, the one from the start of the video. Maybe it's too late for that one, but it isn't too late for the next room you walk into. 10 habits, small enough that you never once noticed them. Which means the fix was never going to be loud either. You didn't lose their trust in one moment, and you're not going to win it back in one either. But a door that closed quietly can be opened just as quietly, one habit at a time. My name's Yosel, and my goal is to help teach young people, and everyone of all ages, more about psychology, philosophy, and help them understand themselves. So if you think I hit any of those boxes for you, please like and subscribe. I appreciate you for watching this video, and who knows, maybe I'll see you in the next one.